we have performed well as far as I'm concerned, and I would like to share the feeling of gratitude to everyone, especially from the DILG Field Office and especially to DILG Regional Office 1 for contributing its share for us to be able to evolve from a simple program to a more complex program within the department. So maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And at this moment, let us also hear from another guest speaker today. She is the Director of the Bureau of Local Government Development of DILG, which leads the development and formulation of policies and programs for the capacity development of local government units. She supervises several programs. Among those are programs enhancing the capacities of local governments for greater autonomy and local economic development, and programs that encourage good performance, such as the ease of doing business and improving competitiveness of LGUs, rationalizing local planning and mainstreaming disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation in local development planning, gender responsive local governance, sustainable development goals localization, community-based monitoring system, and performance challenge fund, a program that gives incentives to the best performing LGUs, among others.
She also leads the implementation of different projects supported by the United Nations Development Program, Asian Development Bank, and Australian aid, such as the Local Governance and Budget Reform Program, Poverty Environment Initiatives, and review of the Local Government Code. She holds a bachelor's degree in statistics and a Master of Public Administration degree, major in local and regional government from the University of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for the Bureau of Local Government Development Director, Ma'am Annaliza F. Bonalgua.
Maraming salamat, Aya and Macba, for that generous introduction. I would like to roll call kasi I would not let this very important event to pass without acknowledging all our important people here. LGA Executive Director, Telma Vicina, Ms. Tel. SLGP Director, Richard Villacorte. DILG Region 1, RD Regional Director, James Padrilan, sir. ARD Agnes De Leon. DILG Provincial Directors present here today. I believe lahat kayo nandito. And DILG Region 1 family. Partners from national government agencies, academics, civil society organizations. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. First of all, I would like to commend and extend our congratulations to DILG Regional 1 Director James Padrilan and Assistant Regional Director Agnes A. De Leon and the entire DILG Region 1 team for coming up with these 3 products, knowledge products that we are launching today. Specifically, the compilation of the LGU best practices, compendium of the LGRRC Region 1 service offerings, and the comprehensive development plan facilitators toolkit. This will definitely serve as important guides and reference for local governments and other concerned stakeholders in the region. The development of these knowledge products attests to the unwavering commitment and support of the DILG Region 1 in responding to the LGU needs amid the pandemic and the transition to the new normal. With the upcoming election and the impending implementation of the Supreme Court ruling on Mandanas and Garcia petitions in 2022, there is a need for the department to step up its effort to to capacitate our local governments and to facilitate LGU access to national government support services and capability building intervention. There are sa lahat, kailangan natin ng support for local governments. The compilation of best practices by local governments in the region to rise against the challenge of COVID-19 showcases the LGU's creativity and innovations being at the forefront of the battle against the pandemic. These best practices can inspire and provide solutions to neighboring LGUs in the region at hindi lang po sa region, all over the country, experiencing the same difficulties and situation. This can be actually a supplemental reference in the LGU Guide for Recovery and Rehabilitation from COVID-19, which we will be soon releasing in coordination with NEDA and OCD, in line with our support for opening up the economy, for the recovery and the rehabilitation of our services. On the other hand, the provision of a menu of service offered by the agencies of government and even partners in the academe, as well as those offered by our own department, can provide LGUs valuable information that can facilitate their access to frontline services and information on capacity building opportunities offered to them from all over, because they need all the capacity building intervention, especially in the coming years as we face recovery from COVID-19, implementation of the Supreme Court ruling, which will result to increase resources for local government units, and again, the possible changes in the leadership in our local government units. So there are a lot of things that we have to prepare for the coming year, especially next year, 2022. We likewise commend the efforts of the region in coming up with a CDP toolkit. No, this is could be a reference. This is a reference for the formulation of the CDP, Comprehensive Development Plan, which will really be most useful, especially as I mentioned, in the formulation of a responsive and vertically aligned plans for FY 2022, which is really a critical year, anticipating the increase in revenues that should be efficiently planned and effectively used by local governments in the service of their constituents. The department already had issued in February 19, 2021, a memorandum advising local government units to prepare for the assumption of responsibilities under the existing laws that up to now has been assumed or being performed or being supported or being funded by the national government agencies. The national budget, the DBM National Budget Memorandum 138, that prioritizes national government budgets for devolved functions so that they can devolve and utilize this funding for the devolution in 2021, the fiscal devolution that will happen in 2022. What is certain is that the LGUs will be needing greater capacity building to support under the fully devolved setup. Yun yung pinag-uusapan ngayon sa national. How can we fully support local government units as they assume? Hindi po ito maliit na, no? This is a substantive increase in resources compared to the 2020 level, almost 50% increase by 2022. So yun po yung initial, the latest estimate from DBM. So we need to amass all resources, capacity building intervention, and support to local government units so that they can fully function in a fully devolved setup with greater responsibilities and accountability attendant to the increase in LGU resources. To supplement the CDP toolkit developed by the region, we would just like to mention that the Bureau will be soon releasing the guidelines for mainstreaming disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation, or DRRCCA, in the Comprehensive Development Plan. So that is what we call the CDP+. So aside from the formulation of the Comprehensive Development Plan, we have added the mainstreaming of DRR and CCA into the CDP formulation. So we hope that this reference can further enrich the wealth of knowledge products formulated by the region. Okay, so in closing, let me end by congratulating again the region for its initiative to strengthen capacity building tools and instrument through these knowledge products. This can ably support the region in the performance of its capacity development interventions and mandate as we transition, as our local government units transition to the new normal, as we recover from COVID-19 and ensure the readiness of our local government units to assume greater responsibility under a full devolution. So marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. Muli, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now, let us witness the DILG Ilocos Norte's showcase of talents in their intermission number.
Thank you so much, DILG Ilocos Norte, for that intermission number. The DILG Region 1 has always supported the national efforts in spreading optimism, good news, and better services through innovations. Amidst the present situation, local governments have implemented best practices in combating COVID-19. Amidst this COVID-19 pandemic, it has never been crucial to capacitate local governments in risk-informed planning practices. And amidst this pandemic, it is but timely to provide local governments the necessary and relevant services from both the national level and the private sectors. And because of this, the Department of the Interior and Local Government Region 1 made an initiative to compile all best practices of local governments in combating COVID-19 here in Region 1 to develop a facilitator's toolkit for the formulation of risk-informed development plans and a compendium of national and private sector service offerings. Now, to introduce the background of one of the knowledge products entitled Panang Sarangit Tipangta Ti COVID-19, let us all welcome LGRRC's Giselle Polka.
Good morning, everyone. Unusual times like a pandemic calls for unusual measures and provide unusual opportunities. This is the time to step up, step forward, and be counted for doing something meaningful, something out of the ordinary, something generous, something humane, or simply to provide support to others who are taking their first step towards a better normal. The book Panang Sarangit Tipangta Ti COVID-19 is a 40-page hardbound coffee table book translated in Ilocos dialect featuring the LGU best practices against COVID-19 in Region 1. The term Panang Sarangit, or others would say Panang Sarangit, came from the root word sarangit, which means to face an enemy, to confront, attack, and withstand. This word completely captures our battle against an unseen enemy, which is the COVID-19. Our ability to confront its effects and to withstand the challenges that it brought. The term pangta, on the other hand, means challenge. So simply put, Panang Sarangit Ti Pangta Ti COVID-19 means confronting the challenges brought about by COVID-19. The book features the best practices identified by the local government units in Region 1 under 8 categories, which was identified by the National IATF as key critical areas in the management of the COVID-19 crisis. These areas include governance, health, food, economy, peace and order, logistics, crisis communication, and management of the dead. The book highlights the efforts by the different local government units to control and manage not only the widespread of the disease, but also in lessening its impact, which demonstrates the critical role of the relationship between the government and people in determining government responses, strategies, and approaches in tackling the crisis. Under each area, articles were featured highlighting the ingenious way of the LGU response. Each response varies from the use of technology and social media to the use of good old Bayanihan spirit. Translated in Ilocos dialect, the compilation affords other local government units to acquire knowledge on the lessons learned, how to improve and adapt strategies, and implement proven and effective interventions against COVID-19. The book can serve as a ready reference for the local government units to innovate and strategize what specific measures are applicable in their own locality and how they can adopt such best practices to better respond to their current situation. Panang Sarangit Ti Pangta Ti COVID-19 is our way of showing the other local government units in the other regions that we continuously strive to be matino, mahusay, and maasahan in providing effective and efficient public service delivery despite the changing and challenging times. Thank you very much and good day.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Giselle. It is really inspiring how good things can arise from these difficult times. Let us always remember that we are bigger and stronger together than the challenges that come our way. At this point, allow me to acknowledge our mayors who are joining us virtually. Mayor Noel Nakar of Dasul, Pangasinan. Mayor Noel Jaslani of Malasiki, Pangasinan. Mayor Simplicio Rosario of Binmalay, Pangasinan. Mayor Roque S. Verzosa Jr. of Tagudin, Ilocos Sur. Mayor Ronald Ngayawan of Burgos, Pangasinan. And Mayor Joel Fernandez de los Santos of Santa Barbara, Pangasinan. And now to give us a background on our next priceless knowledge product entitled the Comprehensive Development Plan Facilitators Toolkit, please help me give her a warm welcome. The Program Manager of DILG La Union, no other than LG006, Nicolette May O. Amon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. It is with great privilege that I present to you the Comprehensive Development Plan, or the CDP Toolkit. This is the result of the collaborative efforts of the CDP trainers in the region. Through our local governance regional resource center, we were able to produce this toolkit, which will be used in facilitating the formulation and the updating of the CDP. Although one of the mandated plans in the local government code, crafting the CDP remains to be one of the challenges faced by local government units. Even with the issuance of the CDP Guide and the CDP Illustrative Guide, many still find it difficult, especially now that we have required our development plans to be risk-informed. That is, to mainstream thematic concerns, particularly disaster risk reduction and management, and climate change adaptation. In keeping with our mandate to strengthen local government capability, this toolkit was developed. It includes a facilitator's guide, PowerPoint presentations, and reference materials which will be used by our local government operations officers, partner local resource institutes, and other stakeholders who will be tapped to provide technical assistance. The facilitator's guide details the steps to be undertaken in formulating or updating the CDP. It is divided into 6 sessions, each with a series of workshops to ensure participatory planning. The first session, establishing the database using the Climate and Disaster Risk Assessment, or the CIDRA tool, emphasizes the need to gather and analyze data. This is a crucial step in ensuring that the plan will be evidence-based and responsive to the needs of the LGU. Session 2 is about setting and revisiting the vision, which highlights the importance of focusing our efforts and moving towards one goal. The third session, updating the ecological profile, delves into the process of depicting the current status of the LGU. More than just a narrative, we underscore how the profile becomes the baseline data which the LGU would use in tracking its performance. In the fourth session, formulating the sectoral development plans, the facilitator will help the LGUs gain a deeper understanding on how each sector affects the others. Workshops on cross-sectoral analysis would significantly aid in conceptualizing strategies to achieve the identified goals for each sector. Session 5, preparing the implementation instruments, has the most number of workshops and forms. It is in this session that most LGUs call CDP the complicated development plan. However, the seemingly tedious process of sifting the projects, preparing the project briefs, and prioritizing development projects would later be appreciated as attested by those who have gone through it. Knowing that the Local Development Investment Program, or the LDIP, was not prepared through the ceiling approach is a reward in itself. In this session, technical notes for the 4 prioritization tools have also been provided because CDP need not be complicated, only comprehensive. The last session, packaging the CDP, provides guidance in weaving the parts of the plan into one seamless document, which will serve as the roadmap of the LGU towards sustainable development. Overall, this toolkit stresses the importance of following the process. We hope that with this, we have simplified the approach to development planning while emphasizing the integration of sectoral and thematic concerns. We do acknowledge that times change, and just like our local plans, this toolkit will also undergo updating in the future as we adapt to emerging needs. We encourage you, our stakeholders, to share your knowledge in improving what has been started. Finally, on behalf of my colleagues who contributed to this milestone, we thank you for this opportunity. As part of LGRRC1, let us continue to build a knowledge-centric organization and foster learning communities as we remain to be matino, mahusay, and maaasahan in pursuit of excellence in local governance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Nicolette. So the last but not the least, to give us the background on our last knowledge product entitled Compendium of LGRRC 1 Service Offerings, let us hear from our LGCDD Chief, Sir Sam Gonzalez.
The Local Governance Regional Resource Center 1, as a dynamic and interactive center, promotes a culture of learning and knowledge sharing in the area of governance. Established in January 2006, LGRRC1 is considered as one of the pioneer LGRRCs in the country. It has evolved from a support mechanism of the DILG to a knowledge broker and facilitator of capacity development and local governance. With the strong commitment, competence, and cooperation of the men and women of the DILG and its multi-stakeholders advisory committee, or MSAC, the center has become the best LGRRC in 2018. In this era of new normal, it has risen above many challenges. It produced meaningful outcomes and emerged more inspired for what it can offer to the LGUs. The development of the Compendium of LGRRC1 service offerings is its way of bringing closer the services of the MSAC members to the LGUs. The Compendium is a collection of concise information about what the member national government agencies, civil society organizations, local resource institutes, and LGU leagues can offer. It likewise provides a directory of in-house experts from the MSAC. The LGRRC of Region 1 can be compared to a tree planted beside the waters that will bear fruit in season, and its leaves will not wither, and everything it will undertake will bear good fruits. The Compendium of LGRRC1 service offerings is one of the good fruits that we can offer for our LGUs.
Thank you so much, Sir Sam. Now, before we move on to the unveiling of our knowledge products, we would like to take this opportunity to extend our deepest gratitude to our colleagues who made this all possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the unveiling of our 3 knowledge products. May we request our Regional Director, Sir James, our ARD, Ma'am Agnes De Leon, and our LGRRC1 Assistant Program Manager, Ma'am Reggie Culisao, to do the honors. Ma'am, sir. So, in the count of 5, sabay-sabay po nating masisilayan ang mga pinagmamalaking nating bunga ng ating kaalaman at pagtutulungan. Of course, this will be followed by a short photo ops. Now let's begin our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, our 3 knowledge products, the Panang Sarangit Ti Pangta Ti COVID-19, the CDP Facilitators Toolkit, and the Compendium of LGRRC1 Service Offerings. Thank you so much, sir, ma'ams. You may now take your seats. At this moment, let us hear the words from our esteemed keynote speaker. She is the Executive Director of the Local Government Academy of the Department of the Interior and Local Government. She has vast experience in public service, primarily on local government administration and capacity development. Her first stint in government service was in 1989 at the Department of Local Government, Region 8, as Local Government Operations Officer 2. In 1992, she was accepted at LGA for the position of LGOO2 and thereafter steadily rose from the ranks. Prior to her appointment as the Executive Director of LGA, she has served the Academy in various capacities, making her adept at leading the LGA attain its vision as the premier training and development institution for capability building towards innovative and effective local government, as Chief of the Education and Training Division, Chief of the Research and Policy Development Division, Head of the International Partnership Unit, and Assistant Director.
As Executive Director of the Local Government Academy, she strongly advocates for participatory governance, quality management system, human resource development, research-based capacity development strategies, and mainstreaming the role of local academic institutions in local governance. Today's keynote speaker holds a Master of Public Administration degree, major in local government and regional management from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She earned her bachelor's degree in commerce, major in accounting from the University of San Carlos, Cebu City. Ladies and gentlemen, the Local Government Academy Executive Director, Ma'am Thelma T. Vecina.
Yes, thank you, Aya and Ma. Thank you very much for that introduction. No? Maraming salamat. To Sir Richard, magandang umaga, Sir Richard, and to Director Ana. Thank you for sharing with me the platform to give Region 1. No? wonderful message of appreciation and thanks in this momento. Sabi nga ni Director James, historic event in Region 1, no? To the jewels of the North, no? Nakikita ko sa backdraft, in-enjoy ko yung inyong mga intermission number, no? Ang gagaling pala ng mga taga Region 1, magaling. So tama nga si Sir Richard, still the #1 region in the Philippines, no? So to our DILG top management, to RD James, batchmate, classmate, no? To ARD Agnes, and to all our division chiefs and assistant division chiefs and all the regional staff, no? To our LGRRC team members, to our provincial directors, nako, nandito kayo ngayon, our sub-regional LGRRCs, no? Our cluster leaders, our MLGOs, nako, pagod na siguro kayo, no? Kumusta po kayong lahat, no? Talagang kayo ang tunay na jewels of the department. No, it's not only the North, no? Kasi kanina sinasabi ni Director Ana, ni Sir Richard, the big contribution that Region 1 is actually contributing to how we are now as a department, ay napakalaki ng factor po niya, no? To our MSAC members, nako, ang dami palang representative from the national government agencies, no? Magandang umaga po at maraming salamat sa tulong ninyo sa departamento, no? To our academic institutions, representatives from non-government organizations, no? Maraming salamat at magandang umaga, no? And of course, to our local government units, to our local chief executives. Alam ko maraming mayors tayo ngayon, no? Mayor, kumusta po kayo, no? Kumusta po kayo? Ang departamento ay palaging nandito po para gabayan kayo, no? At saka yung ating mga vice mayors nandito, nakita ko may mga vice mayors tayo, sanggunian members, local functionaries. Alam po ninyo, itong ating initiative ngayon, itong activity ngayon ng DILG Region 1 ay dedicated po sa inyo, no? Ito ay para sa inyo, para makatulong kami sa napakalaking papel na ginagampanan po ninyo sa national development, no? Sabi nga namin dito palagi sa local government, no? Kung number game ito, talagang panalo ang local government, no? Kung lahat ng ating local government units ay parehas po sa inyo sa Region 1, nako, napaka-liit po siguro ng problema ng Pilipinas, no? So to all, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Tamang-tama lang, sabi ni Director James kanina, 3-in-1, no? 3-in-1 yung title ng ating activity. Parang coffee 3-in-1, pero ang kagandahan ng 3-in-1, you know, tamang-tama ang timpla, tamang-tama ang lasa, at saka yung sensation, no? Pag umiinom ka ng 3-in-1, wala ka nang hahanapin pang iba, no? So nakita natin dito ngayon sa activity na to, yung ingenuity the comfort, the feeling good about what is happening in Region 1 ay nandyan, no? You package it all very well and you give us that sensation that Region 1 is really #1 in the Philippines, no? Kami sa Local Government Academy, we commend this initiative of Region 1 of capturing the lessons, the practices in our local government units in Region 1 into a knowledge product that can be disseminated, that can be enjoyed, that can be shared even beyond the boundaries of Region 1, no? Para sa amin, this is the essence of the activity today, no? And more than ever, itong in-unveil pa lang nila Director James, nila ARD at saka ng ating isang leader in Region 1 are symbolic, no? They are symbolic of the operational principle of the local governance regional resource center. That our real advantage, you know, yung ating advantage dito is not what we know, no? It's not what we know, but how we manage knowledge to the advantage of our local government units. Kasi maraming knowledge maraming mga practices, but you know, capturing it into something na mahahawakan at ma-share, that's our competitive advantage. And that is the relevance of the Local Governance Regional Resource Center. No? So with that, maraming salamat because that is the, you know, kami sa LGA nagpapasalamat because we started with the idea of the resource center. Now tama si ating si Sir Gonzales, si Sir Pedro, no, nang sinabi niya na ang LGRRC ay isang maiyahan tulad sa isang punong kahoy, no? Ito ay namunga pero nahahawakan ang bunga. That was basically when we started the LGRRC. That was the essence na mamumunga ito, mahahawakan, magagamit, malalasahan at ma-share sa napakaraming local government units. Not only in the Philippines, no? But even in our neighboring countries. Tayo ay nag-share na rin ng mga best practices natin, no? So copying the best practices, no? Copying programs is actually a good practice nowadays, no? At salamat sa LGRRCs, no? Kasi kina-capture nila yung mga good practices, no? What we're saying is that copying programs is now a good practice among our local government units, no? I remember, dalawang kwento muna tayo, no? Dito sa aming sa NCR, may dalawang mayor. At the height of the pandemic, no? Yung isang mayor, si Mayor Vico, pinasok namin siya sa portal natin ng webinar. I know, marami sa inyo nakinig, no? Sa ating webinar series about the pandemic and all of that, no? And then I remember, no? And even in the news, it was all over in the news at the height of the pandemic, how our mayors were copying each other, no? We're copying the good practices of LGUs as they respond, no, to the pandemic, no? Sabi nga ni Mayor Rex Gatchalian, no, doon sa kanyang mobile palengke, kinopya niya yon kay Mayor Vico, no? And sabi niya, hindi ako nahihiya na i-admit na I copied it from Pasig City. Medyo tweak namin because of our narrow roads, medyo nilagyan namin ng improvement. But I copied it from Pasig City, no? And Mayor Vico, you know, was happy about that, no? Sabi niya, they were exchanging stories talaga. Ang sabi ni Mayor Vico, no? I am happy. It is a big boost to the morale of the men and women in Pasig City who designed it, no? And I will share this story with them na kinopya ni Novaliches yung aming ginawa. At ito din ang sinabi ni Mayor Vico, no? And we will continue to copy also the practices of the Novaliches, no? Like their food distribution and all of that, no? Ang sabi nga pa nga ni Mayor, it was all over the news, no? Hashtag kopyahan na to, no? So, copying programs of local government units, especially if they are good, they're proven effective, is now a good practice, no? Especially so, this is the realization of our local chief executive, of our local government units, you know, especially in pandemic time wherein wala ka ng panahon mag-isip. What you have to know is to look at the effective, the responsive programs of other local government units. You copy it, you improve it, depending on your local situation. No? So it is hashtag kopyahan na to, sabi ni Mayor Vico. And I think it is not only true to NCR. Many of our local government units, even in the north, no, marami dyan magagandang practices being replicated, being copied, being improved by our local government units. Especially so, sabi ng ating mga mayors, we only have 3 years, no? Our term is only 3 years, no? So we may have to look at good practices already and then copy it, improve that, and make our local government units benefit also from the fruits of these good practices. So kudos to Region 1 for compiling, documenting the good practices. And from the Local Government Academy, we will continue this initiative and work hard for advocating replications of this in our local government units nationwide. No? So maraming salamat for that documentation of your good practices. Now let's go to your CDP Plus. No? Kasi kami sa Academy, we are also looking forward to it now because especially so, this is timely because our local government units will really have to be capacitated, guided on how they can update. Sabi nga ni Director Ana, we will have to go into really aggressive updating of our comprehensive development plan, especially so, no, with the lessons learned from the disasters, from this pandemic. And we mentioned about it being a risk-informed planning. No? And I would like to share with you, no, how relevant your initiative in really crafting this facilitators guide. No? In one study of UNDP, no, in 2019, no, they were able to, study, no, how we do planning in the Philippines, no, especially among local government units. In the study of UNDP on risk-informed development from crisis to resilience, that was in May 2019, there was a finding, no, there was a finding that despite increasing understanding of some complex risk, no, development planning in the country and programming still do not consider or act upon risk. So tama lang yung CDP++, no, the CIDRA and all of the evidence-based, no, because we want to really respond to that findings and make it, no, make it really, make local government units really be able to respond, no, to the call of the time, this pandemic and all. So tama lang din na tingnan natin how we do it. How we do it, entry natin is really planning. Kasi sabi natin, di ba, garbage in, garbage out. We might as well influence, no, how we do planning at the local government level. Further to the study, and I would like why I am sharing with you this, is just for us to really feel good that this initiative in really coming up with the CDP plus and really translating it into the vernacular is really a good initiative towards really a good planning exercise in the Philippines among our local government units. Now, according to the study, current approaches to risk management in our planning process often look at just one threat. No? Napaka-narrow ng ating pagtingin, no? Planning, looking at just a natural disaster, where in fact, no, even in this pandemic, the lesson from the pandemic, this is not just a health concern. Now we're looking at each, political, economic, financial stability is at stake of our local government unit. So what we're saying is that we need to understand complex and changing risks and how it will affect development planning at the local government units. And also the CDP Plus, and we are very sure, will also harness the potential of sharing experiences among different sectors. No? Kasi hindi lang isang track ang tinitingnan. Kasi sabi kanina, pinasok na natin ang climate change, ang DRR, even the pandemic, into how we do planning at the local government unit. That's actually the essence of evidence-based, risk-informed planning in the local government units. And I'm pretty sure that the manual, the facilitator's guide will help us in that direction of understanding the complex scenario of risk and how it will benefit planning to be responsive to the requirements of local government units, no? And also your risk-informed, your CDP plus, no? Planning, the guide is a way ahead already of upholding the findings of that study wherein it says that risk-informed development via our local planning process will allow for our development at the local government units to be a vehicle to reduce risk, no? Even eliminate risk, and for us to get resiliency in terms of our development. So kudos again to Region 1. This is a way ahead for our local government units to really plan well for their local government units. Now, let's go to your compendium, your collection of services that is being offered by our LGRRC with the different national government agencies, the non-government organization, no? Communicating to our client what we can offer no? Communication, really, no? And this is a medium, no? Our compendium is a medium for us to communicate. Even in the pandemic, one of the concerns is really risk communication. Now, we're into communicating what services we can offer to the local government. It goes beyond training. Now, what we're saying in the LGRRC, we're now talking about outside the box. No? We go beyond training. That's why in the LGRRC, we have 4 facilities already, and CapDev is just one. That's multimedia. Now we are curating programs, maximizing, magnifying the use of technology so that we can reach even the far-flung areas in the country. No? The remotest of the barangay, we can reach them because we have a facility for multimedia and advocacy, our campaigns. No? And also in the LGRRC, we also have the facility for linkage, no? Because DILG alone, we cannot do it. That's why in the EMSA, national government agencies, non-government organizations, no? The youth sector, no? It's a whole of government approach. Helping local government units to prosper, to progress, should be a whole of government approach. No? Sabi nga nila, di ba? It takes a village to raise a kid. So to help local government units, the whole of government must win. And it is via the LGRRC. That's why we have the 4 facilities. No? And also the last facility, di ba, yung ating citizenship. We will not have to forget to bring in, engage the community. No? Dito sa pandemic na to, nakita natin ang role of the community, no? The people, the ordinary Filipino, the discipline that will have really to be, you really have to emphasize the discipline of each and every one of us to contribute to this pandemic, to really ease the tension and to really not spread the virus is everyone's responsibility. That's why we have a facility in the LGRRC on that. No? Last year, and I would like to inform everybody, we did an assessment of the LGRC performance for 2019. No? Every year we're doing it. Every year we're doing it because we recognize, we believe of the relevance of the LGRRC in the whole operation of the DILG. We did an assessment, and I would like to inform you that Region 1 is still one of the best, top 5 member on Region 1 natin. No? So I went through the indicators last night at tama yun, no? The ingenuity of the jewels of the North ay nandun, and it is our hope that Region 1 will continue, will sustain that place, no, up there to be the best in the country, no? With the other region, Region 6, Region 3, 2, Caraga, and NCR, no? And today is a celebration of that, no? It's not just a simple celebration, pero nakita natin talaga, nahawakan natin yung ebidensya why Region 1 is the best, no? So today is a celebration of that achievement, and we're making headways on that. And of course, from the Local Government Academy, we're saying, let's be mindful of the findings. No? Let's be mindful of the findings of that assessment. Overall, no, we're doing good, but we have to do some more, no? Because the landscape for capacity development is changing with the requirements. Sabi ni Director Ana kanina, it was emphasized about full devolution coming in 2022. The landscape of capacity development is changing, and capacity development, what we're saying, it's a process. It's not just a training. It cannot be developed overnight. So with the help of the MSAC and all the sectors, no, we can develop the local government units that we deserve. No, that's why please be mindful of the findings there. MSAC, let's continue to reinvigorate the MSAC, the assistance coming from all sectors. Let's continue to appreciate it. Let's continue to upscale the programs that we have in the LGRRC. You know, the LGRRCs in the region now, we have all over the region, we have 17 LGRCs in the different development stages. We started with building awareness and then preparing the organization. We were into that, no? We were into that together. It's not the Local Government Academy. We just planted the seeds, no? Pero kayo po ang nag-nurture niyan. Kayo ang inyong mga effort. That's why namumunga sila ngayon, no? And now, I would like to inform you that based on the assessment, yung ating mga LGRRCs in the country, now they are in the exploratory, they're now experimenting, they're now building on the gains, no? They are now talking outside of the box, no? Yung ating mga LGRRCs now, no? What we are doing now, kami sa Local Government Academy with Central Office, is more investment on sustaining the gains, no? Expanding it some more so that we can be more relevant in full devolution, no? So the highest stage for the development of the LGRC is institutionalization and expanding our gains, no? And I know this activity today is a step forward to that direction. Wherein we will institutionalize and we expand some more the good things that we have in the LGRRC. So we hope that we will sustain this momentum, no? We hope that we will maintain this momentum as we transition to full devolution. Why? Because our local government units will really need a lot of help, no? A lot of help, not only from the DILG, from all national government agencies, all sectors, the private also, the non-government organization, they will need a lot of help from us, no? And that is actually the real reason of our being. DILG, LGRRC, that's the essence of our being. If the local government units are okay, we are progressing, no? Then we are successful in that mission. We hope that Region 1 and our LGRRC will continue that mission of connecting communities through the knowledge that we have in the LGRRC. We looked at the LGRRC as a rich resource of knowledge for our local government units. And it's our hope that local government units will continue to patronize, will continue to also help us make good in the mission that we are in. So to Region 1 and to our LGRRC, Region 1, congratulations and a job well done. You are really the jewels of the department. Congratulations at magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your very informative and inspiring words. So before we proceed to our activity, we would like to acknowledge the following mayors of the province of Pangasinan. Mayor Jolie R. Suelo of the municipality of Basista, Pangasinan. Mayor Liseldo D. Calugay of the municipality of Sual, Pangasinan. And Mayor Gwen Palafox Yamamoto from the municipality of Bani, Pangasinan. So good morning po sa ating lahat. Alam mo, Aya, the DILG has always been at the forefront in helping local government units achieve their fullest potential.
Tama ka dyan, Sir Mike. The DILG Region 1's commitment to capacitate the local governments will remain steadfast and always guarantee outcomes that are contributory to the public interest and national goals. Hence, to further strengthen the capacities of our LGUs in delivering the utmost quality of public service amidst this pandemic, we developed these 3 knowledge products which can be their common reference and innovative solutions bank for their unique issues and concerns. In this endeavor, we constantly encourage the involvement and support from all stakeholders. And so, we will now proudly offer to all our stakeholders these 3 masterpieces.
So at this moment, we will now proceed by presenting the 3 knowledge products to our LMP provincial chapter presidents and CSO stakeholders. May we request our regional director, assistant regional director, LGRRC 1 assistant program manager, provincial director Virgilio Season to represent our provincial LGRCs, and Ma'am Daisy Sayangda representing our CSO partners. We also will, and joining us virtually, Mayor Leopoldo Batawil to represent the LMP provincial chapters. Okay. Now, may we request Public Education and Citizenship Program Head, Ma'am Rodora Soriano, to please come forward and present the CDP Facilitators Toolkit to our Regional Director, Sir James, and to be followed by a quick photo ops.
May we now request our linkage program head, Ma'am Alicia C. Bagwa, to please come forward and present to our regional director, James F. Fadrilan, our second knowledge product dubbed as Panang Sarangat Tipangta Ti COVID-19. Of course, this will be followed by a short photo ops.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Alice. And finally, may we request our Multimedia Knowledge and Information Program Head, Ma'am Benedicta Barnachea, to please come forward and present the LGRRC1 Compendium of Service Offerings to our Regional Director, Sir James Padrilan, followed by a quick photo ops.
Ayun na nga. These knowledge products are also being offered to Mayor Leopoldo N. Batawil as a representative of the League of Municipalities of the Philippines.
Thank you very much, RD. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. I'm so impressed with your 3-in-1 launching ceremony today. I like the sequence of the program and also the intermission numbers. Sana maimbita namin yung mga sister act ninyo dito sa Pangasinan to perform such a lively performance. So may I congratulate you once again. Thank you very much for involving us. We are inspired even more by your leadership and administration
of the Department of Interior and Local Government. Maraming salamat po and God bless.
Thank you po, sir. And congratulations po sa ating mga LGUs dahil hindi matatawaran ang kaalaman at oportunidad na pwede nating makuha mula sa mga librong ito upang maisulong ang mabuti at progresibong lokal na pamamahala. Again, thank you po, Mayor Batawid.
Now, may we also hear from Ma'am Daisy Sayanga for her words of acceptance.
Thank you very much po. Once again, napakaganda po, inspiring po yung nangyayari sa araw na ito. So to our LGA Director, Thelma Besina, ma'am, na-inspire po kami sa inyong sharing. I personally was really was inspired. To our SGLP Program Manager, Sir Richard Villacorte, to our BLGDD Director, Annalisa Banagua, ma'am, and of course to our Regional Director, Director James Padrilan, to our Assistant Regional Director, Ma'am Agnes De Leon, and who is the LGRRC Program Manager, and ang idol po natin sa kapulisan noon, now in the local government, my senior in the National Lingkod Bayan Award, Mayor General Leopoldo Batawil, sir. And of course, the Assistant Program Manager of the LGRRC, Provincial Director Reg Calisaw, ma'am, and our very own Provincial Director, Sir Virgilio Season, sir. To gusto ko rin po kasing medyo magpapahaba po ito, pero I really would like to greet also the different people who have I come to work with for the past years as member of the MSAC. Of course, ang napaka-tiyaga po, napaka-bait na atin pong LGRRC head, LGCDD head, wala pong iba kung hindi si Sir Sam. Si Sir Sam po. And of course, sa lahat po ng mga core program managers po natin, sa lahat po ng mga kasamahan sa MSAC, whom we enjoyed our trips together, our learnings together, who are here and via Zoom, our local chief executives, mga MLGOs po, other guests and friends, kada tayo amin apo na imbag nga bigat tayo. As MSAC member, it is a great honor and pleasure to be with you today and be part of this very momentous event of launching 3 groundbreaking books in local governance even in these times of pandemic. Sabi ko nga kay Sir kanina, Sir James kanina, blended po ang ating methodology, 3-in-1, so blend 45 at napakasarap po. And I am delighted to share this moment with you and have the opportunity to say a few words response in this book launching. We all know that we are not in ordinary times right now with the COVID-19 still lurking around, trying to penetrate our communities and even our offices like DILG. Kaya nga po talagang todong protocol po ang ating ginagawa. Yet this book launching was pulled through by the DILG Region 1. Congratulations po sa inyong lahat, to all those who toiled their days and nights just to come up with this book. Saludo po kami sa inyo. You are indeed an innovator and leader in shaping the future of local governments in its leadership and management. Indeed, in these trying times, we really need to spread optimism and good news to our people through knowledge products, just as what you have just presented. Nakaala tayo itisida. Ijay ayan ti barut-but taptay. So we Filipinos are known for our resiliency and optimism, especially tested during times of calamities. Kahit basang-basa na po tayo sa bagyo, wasak ang bahay, hindi na halos nakakakain, pero nandyan pa rin at namumutawi ang ngiti sa labi. At sa pag-asang bukas ay mawawala rin ang ating mga problema. Or better yet, yung mga iba sinasabi nila, kaya natin ito. But the next question is how to rise up and face the challenge and come out victorious. For the past months, actually almost a year now, we are now reaching the first year anniversary of this COVID-19 pandemic. Ilang araw na lang po. Hope hindi na po magla-lockdown. Kasano tayo nga rod nga sarangton, wenno sang wen, dagitoy pay nga problema of this unseen enemy and still rise up victorious. Every one of us had our own experiences and stories of how we strive and thrive during the past year until now. I myself struggled how to balance work and health during the lockdown as a member of this high-risk group. I was under remission. It was my 5th year with comorbidities. But in the end, public service prevailed and I couldn't help but continue to report every day just to facilitate setting up of barriers during localized lockdowns. The time only when a few officers are out kasi lahat po na nasa kanilang pong mga bahay. Did I easy and pulong-pulong from barangay to another face the angry people when their businesses were already compromised by the situation, toiling night and day just to come up with real quick local policies based from ever-changing and sometimes conflicting national guidelines on COVID protocols. I guess we all have our own share of stories, our own experiences, during the time of the lockdowns nang nangro na apo kadagitoy MLGOOs tayo. And we are very happy that you came up with this book, Panagsaranget Tipangta ti COVID-19 or Combating the Threats of COVID-19. I guess this is a very relevant and timely piece of literature for all of us, especially those leading our LGUs and those in the communities. Sigurado ko po magkakaroon ito ng volume 2, book 2. Kasi po, sabi kanina ni Director Avicina, kailangan pong makopya, ma-replicate. So marami pong mga LCEs natin ngayon, sigurado marami pong magiging istorya at magiging book 2. And as for the personal experiences of those who really went out during these times of pandemic, marami rin pong mga stories. And I hope we also come up with the experiences of our MLGOOs, the other officers who went out, our policemen, so we could have another book, Panagsaranget, pero not anymore strategies and gains of the LGUs, but the strategies of people, individual people who went out and fight this unseen enemy. I also remember the days when I was given the chance for a day to be out of my town to attend the first ever blended learning of the DILG. So I think that is another momentous event in Region 1, laging number 1. And the DILG needed partners in its effort to roll out a very important aspect of governance, which is the so-called risk-informed planning for the CDP. Hindi po kasi tayo lumalabas noon and we were called and I was called. So as a soldier, lumabas po kami face-to-face. And I personally enjoyed it despite the fact that there were moments we felt disconnected with the speaker as well as the other participants who are lost due to technicalities. And one even said, "Mas latay lagdengdeng nagtiradyo." There were times during the unholy hour, yun po. So adjustment to new normal as trainers and speakers, all we could ask that time was sana bigyan kami ng reference materials to be more effective when we go to the different LGUs where we were advised noon meron na nga pong ginagawa. At ngayon po ang katotohanan, naalat pa yun, nandito na po ang CDP Toolkit. At maraming salamat po. Hola, we have now the most awaited CDP Facilitators Toolkit. Thank you, DILG, LGRRC for coming up with this. And as a facilitator, personally, I am delighted and excited about this book. Baka hindi na ako makatulog sa excitement na mabasa ko na po lahat ito because we've been waiting for this for the past months. And now we could have the chance to be another Ma'am May Ancheta, Ma'am Nicolette, and all the other DILG facilitators na napakagaling po. And we will be able to, we as your MSAC partners in the academies as well as in the private sector will be able to gain familiarity and expertise in the framework na kailangan pong gamitin po natin to spread knowledge and skills to local planning teams with focused and framed way of planning in the local level that could greatly impact the strategic development of our communities. Especially now that na-mention nga po kanina that full devolution is on its way this 2022. And of course, the compendium of LGRRC1 service offerings is equally exciting as we expect more learnings and great things to come to everyone. Let us keep the passion of learning and development in every page of the compendium. So keep posted, everyone. I believe this 2021 will be a great time for learning and development with DILG, LGDD, and LGRRC and partners invading every corner of the region through innovative methodologies appropriate this new normal time. So kung hindi pwede ang face-to-face, we could have blended learning or we could have via Zoom. To end this response, nagiging mahaba na po ata because there are 3. Please allow me to share the story in my journey also of learning and development, and I'm just very happy that I did it with DILG. I was 18 years old when I started. That was almost 3 decades ago. I was sitting down at the pews at the old provincial office. That was the first time na may SK elections. And I was always fascinated by the trainers ng DILG. At sabi ko noon sa sarili ko, I will be one of them. And I did not join DILG, but at least in my own way of teaching, sharing knowledge and skills, I am still here with you. So with these 3 books, I will strive and thrive in our advocacy in improving local governance. Yes, Ms. Nicolette, we will be sharing this knowledge to everyone. Thank you for this wonderful moment of sharing your milestone with us. God bless, keep safe. Again, congratulations po na imbang nga bigat tayo amin.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Daisy. Now may we hear some words of acceptance from our Provincial Director, Virgilio P. Sison.
To our guests in this 3-in-1 book launching ceremony, Sir Richard Villacorte, Ma'am Annalisa Bunagua, and to our keynote speaker, our LGA Executive Director, Ma'am Telma Vicena, and to our Regional Director, RD James Padrilan, to our Assistant Regional Director, Ma'am Agnes De Leon, to all our local officials who are online, to all my colleague in the DILG, my fellow provincial directors, our cluster leaders, our program managers, our CMLGOOs, and to our division chiefs who are here present, to all the personnel of the DILG Region 1, especially the members of the LGRC, to all the members of the LGRRC. Good morning, everyone. In behalf of the Provincial Local Governance Resource Center, I would like to congratulate and commend the Regional Local Governments Resource Center under the leadership, of course, of our dynamic Regional Director James Padrilan and our LGRRC Manager, Ma'am Agnes De Leon, and to all the members of the LGRC. And of course, with the guidance of the LGA and support of different bureaus of DILG and partner agencies. I enjoin the Local Governance Resource Center to continue develop initiatives that promote knowledge sharing that will guide stakeholders in local governance. Someone said, knowledge is like money. To be of value, it must circulate. And in circulating, it can increase in quantity and hopefully in value. So these 3 books would greatly help the field officers in providing capacity building and technical assistance to local government units. And for the local government units to be ready for full devolution and attain the ultimate goal of local autonomy, which is self-reliance. And to all the stakeholders, and of course, ultimately, this will redound to the development of the community and promote the welfare of the people. Let us sustain this endeavor until all local government units attain their full potential. And together, let us enjoy our journey for public service. Again, my congratulations to the regional LGRC and mabuhay po ang LGRC Region 1. Good morning.
Thank you so much, sir. So before we go to the final part of our program, let us all witness another energizing intermission number from DILG Pangasinan.
Okay, thank you so much, DILG Pangasinan, for showcasing your dancing prowess. At this juncture, let us listen to one of the much-awaited messages of the day. May I call in our very able OIC Assistant Regional Director and LGRRC1 Program Manager, Ma'am Agnes A. De Leon, for her closing remarks.
Thank you, Aya. And Michael, Mike. So, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. DILG Region 1 through the Local Governance Resource Center has once again proven that despite all the hardship and challenging circumstances we face, we were able to launch not just one, but 3 knowledge products for this day. This significant accomplishment would not have been possible without the committed individuals who devoted their time and effort in realizing our goal of promoting a culture of learning and knowledge sharing. The challenge for us now is to ensure that the CDP Facilitators Toolkit and the compendium of LGRRC1 service offerings will serve their purpose. That is to guide our stakeholders for better, efficient, and effective service delivery. Let the pagsarangat ti pangtati COVID-19 be the reflection of Region 1's resilience, resourcefulness, and bayanihan. Let it set an example to others that we can overcome challenges through our innovativeness and ingenuity. To our local government units who are joining us today, maraming salamat po. Sa ating mga provincial offices, our contributors, thank you for your service to our citizenry and for being the brainchild of the future best practices. To all the editors, layout artists, and to those who tirelessly work to make this launching possible. Siyempre, dapat i-mention ko dito kasi talagang naghirap po sila mula pa nung linggo. Ang ating division ng LGCDD, headed by Kuya Sam. Pedro po, Ma'am, Telma. Palakpakan po natin. Siyempre, kasama si Ate Lilian, na siya talagang ang master dito sa pag-decorate lahat-lahat. Sa ating PDMU na naka-field na talagang pinapunta ko dito para samahan sila sa design. Napakaganda po ng ating background ngayon sa ating launching. Talagang napaka-solemn. Siyempre with the support of our FAD Chief, Manang Alice, our LGMed Chief, si Roda, siyempre kasama ni Ate Beth. Siyempre, ang ating assistant ngayon sa LGRRC, si PD Reggie na nasa regional office. I sincerely thank you for all your hard work. Congratulations for a job well done. On behalf of the DILG Region 1 family, we thank our guest speakers, SLGP Program Manager, Sir Richard L. Villacorte, and Madam BLGD Director Ana Lisa F. Bonagua, for your support to us. Without your funding support, this is not possible. And of course, we also extend our sincerest gratitude to our hardworking LJA Director, Ma'am Telma Tibisina, that every time she lectures, this time, pala hindi siya lectures, nag-share siya sa atin, talagang ma-oo ka sa amazement, no, nung kanyang sabi ko sana ganito rin ako katalino na-explain niya lahat, no. Ma'am, thank you very much for your constant guidance to us. To our regional director, Sir James, who always sabi niya, I want you to go beyond. Sabi niya, to go beyond yung capacity namin. That's why we tried our best to excel every year. Thank you, sir. Truly, knowledge is wealth that needs to be shared. Once again, we are here to enrich the lives of our people, our client, and our constituent. Agyaman kami apo na imbag nga bigat tayo amin.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Agnes, for that wonderful message. So that is all for today's event, and let's continue to learn from and rise above the challenges.
In this time of the pandemic, let us always be a part of the solution and be an inspiration. Gentle reminders lang po ulit, always observe the minimum public health standards at syempre wag po tayong matakot magpabakuna.
Again, we have been your hosts. I'm Mike,
And Aya,
leaving you with those friendly reminders, and let us all stay safe and free from COVID-19. Good day, everyone.